Hey, and welcome back to Game Talk. I'm your host, Sam Admian. Today I'm joined by Connor.
Hey, guys.
And Mike.
Hello.
And welcome to the #1 AI podcast.
Yeah,
this is just an
maybe
AI talking to itself. None of us are real people.
maybe I should stop going hello every time we open the podcast.
I mean, I do think it's funny.
Someone's going to hear me
multiple people on the socials, mostly TikTok actually, but there have been some on Instagram and stuff, have commented that this is like an entirely AI podcast. It's just an AI talking to itself.
Like we interrupt each other. I think we'd be cleaner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like maybe they just think the AI is advanced enough to sound like a human being.
What kills me is the first one we were getting AI footage on was, I think or AI comments on was the first one we used footage I actually recorded of a game.
Yeah.
So it was the least, it was the most
AI.
Homegrown content we put out, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, we might be AI, you know?
Yeah,
like all of this could be like a Matrix type situation, but then you would be AI too, Commenter.
Yeah.
So, checkmate.
They
put
don't
this
listen
in
to
the
the
reels.
actual
You'd
show,
be
though.
AI too.
They're only listening to the clips.
Yeah, they don't listen to the actual podcast.
Yeah.
Many people
We got our first
chiming
haters,
in that it's
too.
a podcast.
We got our first real honest haters. There was somebody saying, "I wish I could block you all, but I don't want to get blocked out of Zelda
The Zelda
TikTok."
community.
So I was like, man, we
We got to
made
talk
it.
about more Zelda games.
That's funny.
We've really made it.
They hate us there.
But on a more positive note, 500 followers roughly on Instagram, approaching 500 on TikTok, so we are growing. So we know that most of you people out there are normal and probably enjoy what you see, hence the follow.
Yeah, we appreciate all
Yeah.
the support.
But anyways, okay, getting into the topic at hand. The promised day is finally here. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is out in early access.
Out for people who paid their $100.
I paid $100+ for this game. I paid $30 extra for the anime music packs. I've played this game for over 9 hours already, and it's been out since yesterday.
Let me check
At
my
6 p.m.
Wait, hold on. How many hours have you put in, Connor?
9.7.
9.7?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're both over 9 hours, and it came out yesterday, which
came out
is
yesterday
at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. last night?
I played until 11 last night, I think, and then I took a half day at work today to play more.
I played until 11, couldn't sleep, got back up at 1, and played till 4.
And you've just been doing the story, right, Amit?
No, I've been doing I've basically done everything except online.
Okay.
So the very first thing I did when I got this game was I fired up the tutorial, and
Recommended.
I'm very glad I did. And for all of you who are going to start this game soon, I highly recommend you do that as well, because this game is not easy.
No,
And you might be seeing memes online of Grade 8 Vegeta just wrecking people, and it's true, you know, like if you just go in and spam square, you're not going to get anywhere in this game.
No, it's more than that. I'm not great at this game, but I knew not to just spam square. I had a little bit of strategy. I hadn't played through the tutorials yet, but I spent 40 minutes, I think, against Grade 8 Vegeta. I was like, how are they going to put this huge wall as the fourth
It
fight
is a
in the
wall,
game?
yeah.
And I think it's kind of a weird, it's like a declaration. And we knew this, I guess, going in, but this game does not care about difficulty scaling. It doesn't care about balance. It doesn't care about anything like that. Because if it did, you would not be fighting. The very first fight you do is against someone with super armor that you can't do any stun damage to.
Right. No, it respects the power scaling in Dragon Ball above actual...
Above game design.
Respecting the game design, which I'm all about. This is what I wanted out of this game.
Yeah.
I wanted
same.
a game that was unabashedly Dragon Ball. This is absolutely a game for Dragon Ball fans first and foremost. So if you're not a Dragon Ball fan, you're probably not going to get much out of this game. But if you are, this is Christmas.
I disagree with that. My buddy Antonio called me yesterday while I was playing, and he'd heard about it and he wanted me to stream it. And he was like, wow, this game looks great. He was amazed because not a lot of, it's like this in Fighters for best looking anime games of all time, for sure.
Oh yeah, this game looks gorgeous. And I prefer this game's look to Fighters simply because this game is so kinetic and it captures that kinetic energy so well.
The destruction, yeah.
It really
scale.
feels like you're just playing the anime.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's a mechanic called vanishing At least I think that's what it's called. All the mechanics have
Yeah.
like crazy multi-word names and stuff, but you hit right bumper or R1 as someone's about to hit you, and you vanish and appear next to them, and you can counter, and then they can vanish and appear next to you. And when you get like a 4 or 5 sequence of vanishing, it looks like
It's
the
just
anime.
the show,
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels so
And these
good.
mechanics, I can't stress this enough. This game is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. It just has a different
yeah.
name. This is the sequel to the game. If you grew up playing the Tenkaichi games, the Budokai games like I did, this is the game you have been waiting for
17
since
years.
you were a kid. Since you played, is that how when Tenkaichi 3 came
17
out?
years since
17
Tenkaichi 3.
years ago?
Yeah.
My God, yeah. This is
Yep,
the
it's
game I've been
2004.
waiting 17 years for. And a lot of those mechanics in Tenkaichi 3 are in Sparking Zero as well. Like you said, the vanishing, you've got like the dash mechanics, you've got like and I'm talking about like the key like homing dash thing.
Yeah.
Where
Dragon
you can like quickly
Rush.
home in on someone. Dragon Rush, that's what they call it. You've got like the crazy blocks, like the fast dodges. You've got all
Sonic
of it.
Wave.
Sonic Wave. You really memorized the nomenclature here.
I keep
That's
like
good.
hitting walls where there's a mechanic that I just don't understand, and because this game has so many mechanics that
It has
they
a lot
don't-
of mechanics.
and they don't like introduce them progressively. It is fight one. All of this is there. The only thing that's
Oh,
not
yeah,
there is
they throw you in there.
transformations, and transformations are not complicated. So
No, that's the easiest possible
Yeah.
input.
it's
No,
all
what's
just
funny is-
narrative. Yeah.
You have all these mechanics in the game, and the training mode painstakingly, very thorough. It's very good.
It's
You can watch demos of each mechanic. You can practice them as many times as you want. You can reset the scene and practice over and over again. But the second you get thrown into a real life situation,
It's gone. You just-
all that knowledge flies away because you're not just isolating a mechanic and practicing it one over again. You're flying at like 800 miles an hour across the planet fighting someone, and you have fractions of a second often to make decisions.
Even less than that. You don't even get to make a decision sometimes. Like it feels like for the
It has to be
combos-
instinct.
Yeah, you have to. I'm used to games like Devil May Cry where if you're doing a combo, it kind of rewards methodical input. Where once the animation is done, you immediately hit the next button. No, you just hit all the buttons and then watch the animation play. Like it's X X X Y, not X. Wait for the animation. X. Wait. You have to hit them all at once.
It really is too fast to think. I
Yeah.
really feel like, unless, I don't know, maybe we're just old. We're like, you're almost 30, I'm 30.
Yeah.
It's maybe when I was a kid, I could actually think that fast, but I really think it
I
is
can't.
more
Yeah.
instinct based. You just have to go based on feel, which I love.
Yeah.
I mean, that speed is something that is so unique to Tenkaichi, and well, I should say Sparking Zero now because
Yeah.
that's
The
what
new
it is
era.
now. Yeah.
I mean 17 years. So you haven't played any online yet. I've been playing
No.
online. You start rank D5 and work your way up D4, D3, D2. I'm C5 right now.
Oh,
do not-
nice.
I don't deserve it. I haven't won a match since I got into the C's.
Oh,
I don't think.
okay.
Or that's not true. I've won a match, but it'll typically be guy pounds me into the ground. I rematch him, fight him again, learn the patterns a little bit, like almost like a Dark Souls boss. And then on that
nice.
third rematch, you can only fight somebody 3 times. So second rematch, I can sometimes eke out a win, but mostly.
But hey,
and
that's
it's-
progress. You're like learning.
and these aren't like some of them are like people playing as Whis or something, or Super Gogeta or whatever. And yeah, they're gonna beat me. I'm playing as Kid Buu, which is not a weak character, but not the strongest certainly in this game. But some of them are like I lost to a base Gohan and a base Bardock. Some people are just creaming
I
me
love
'cause
that.
I'm not quick enough. And there's so
Yeah,
many things you have to
yeah.
think about, like the order of operations. Somebody goes to punch you. Okay, am I blocking or am I vanishing? Or countering? You could do any of the 3 off the back.
There's
but-
like 2 different counters you could do.
yeah, and okay, I missed that. Now I need to be trying to. Do I want to use? Is it Z counter, the one that uses 2 of your skill points? I don't even remember.
Well, so it's gonna be weird because I'm playing on PlayStation. You're playing on probably like a Steam controller or Xbox
Yeah.
controller. But if you double tap L1 left bumper,
You're using classic
there's a
controls,
mechanic where
aren't
you use one of your skill points. Yeah, I'm using classic controls.
It's not.
So that further confuses
It's
things,
right
right?
stick on standard controls.
Okay.
that
Oh,
you
no.
click in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that initiates a counter, but they can counter your counter, and if they do that, it's a really cool animation of them basically catching your fist,
Yeah.
which is like the ultimate, like, it's just throwing
Your eyes pop out of your head.
dirt
yeah.
on you, you know? It's just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is in this game.
It's so.
But that's
hard.
one of the counters. But then one of the other ones for me, right, with the classic controls on PlayStation, it's pressing triangle and circle, and that assumes you're kind of like counter stance, right?
That's
and if they
just
hit you
circle.
in that
Yeah.
stance, you automatically counter them back.
Yeah. So
there's two different counters there. That's not counting the vanishes and any of that.
And that's the other thing that's so crazy. If you're trying to look up tips on this game or something to help you not get rocked in multiplayer, there's two totally different control schemes that people could be using.
Yeah.
And I'm using standard because back in the day, I only had Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii. So I've never played... it's not that I've never played it on a PlayStation controller. My cousin had it on PlayStation 2. But the lion's share of my experience is worthless to me because I'm not hooking a Wiimote up to my PC to play this game.
Yeah, I definitely have the benefit of muscle memory, ancient muscle memory that's somewhat carried over from Tenkaichi 1 and 2. I also played Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii, just because at the time that was the coolest thing ever, where you could actually like do a Kamehameha in real life with the Wii controls. But yeah, PS1 and PS2, I do have some of that muscle memory in me, so I think that carried over better. But then again, I have not played online, so I could be completely mistaken.
You should play if you... I've also not been playing...
Yeah, I'm probably going to play some tonight.
I have not been playing the version of online that I think is going to be more fair. There's two ways you can play online.
Oh, the DP battle.
I've been playing single battles because I just kind of want to get okay as a couple characters. So I've just been playing Kid Buu because Kid Buu is like one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters. So he's going to be on the team no matter what. And then I'll move up to DP battles. I figure those are just going to take longer. But I love the DP system. The way it works is...
it's a brilliant system.
You have 15 DP points to make up a team, and all the characters, because the characters are not balanced at all, you have to make up a team. It's kind of like those tier lists where people are like, oh, you have to make up your squad out of these characters that people like to post. It's exactly like that.
Yeah, and often characters, the DP's values kind of correlate with the actual power levels of the characters. So like, Whis and Beerus are the highest cost DP characters, along with like Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue and like someone else.
But there is some rule of cool to it. I don't know if they balanced around it, but for instance, they made sure that the 5 members of the Ginyu Force add up to 15, so you can rock the entire Ginyu Force online if you want.
Oh man, the Ginyu Force.
Yeah,
we'll talk about them in a bit. But yeah. No, and Mr. Satan is one.
Mr. Satan is one. So a lot of people,
which is
you
really
run into a lot of like, because you're running the numbers. I haven't played this yet. I've watched some people play it when I just played too much of the game, couldn't play anymore. I watched some last night.
Yeah,
and it's really funny because you'll be seeing these people that are like running the numbers in their head to figure out how many characters that their enemy has left, and they'll finish them off. And they're like, "What? That should surely be it." And then Mr. Satan comes out because he's the one point they used to fill in the little bit of filler they had left, and then you just he does no damage to anyone, so you beat him instantly.
I mean, I feel like there's got to be some true masters out there that are just using Mr. Satan to annihilate people.
I don't know, because his I saw him use his...
He doesn't have any knockback or anything, right?
No, I think everyone has super armor against him. And even his rush attack, I think, I might be wrong about that, but even his rush attacks they do like a quarter of a bar of HP. They don't do any damage. And this is a game where you have many bars of HP going into a fight, depending on how strong your character is.
5 or 6 or something.
Yeah. I think Kid Buu starts with 4, I think.
And it's funny, because I remember when Tenkaichi 3 was out, I mean, Kid Buu was at the top, right? Buu Saga stuff was the most current, so Kid Buu had like 7 HP bars.
Yeah.
But times have changed so much since then.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, right, so this game... It attempts to be very diegetic with its menus and characters and how they're presented, and it's a little clunky, but I really like it because it really feels cozy to me as a Dragon Ball fan.
I agree.
And so what I mean
It's extremely
that
clunky.
the main menu is animated, right? So it's Goku hanging out with a friend group, right? So if you're on story mode, you have a certain screen, Goku's hanging out with someone. If you go to battle mode, the way the menu transitions is that Goku actually gets up and flies over to a different group of people or teleports over, and then a new menu is presented. And because of all that fanfare, navigating the menus is actually quite sluggish. Like, it takes a while to go from one menu option to the other, especially if you wait for the full animation to play out. Because if you wait for the full animation to play out, when you change menus again, you get the full animation rather than just like an abbreviated version of it. So me being the nerd that I am, is I always intentionally navigate the menu very slowly so I can see this happen.
It's also like
But-
super choppy. I don't know if it is on PS5, but
It's not. So I have heard that the PC port has some issues.
Okay, so
But on PS5 and Series X, it's a locked 64K.
in gameplay, I'm locked 60. I've got no complaints at all. But in that menu, it's like weirdly choppy for some reason. And even the character select feels a little weird sometimes. I don't really understand why. But-
Yeah, so the character select, I saw what they did there, right? Because you pick the stage first,
Yeah.
and then the character, and once you're done picking the characters, it just
Fight
seamlessly
starts.
transitions into the fight.
Yeah.
Because your characters are already standing in the stage, which is cool. I feel like that's a bit extra. They didn't have to do that, right? Like, I would have been totally content with how, like, Tenkaichi 3 was.
It's also
But again, it's their attempt. I don't know why they had it in their head they had to do this, but, like, they wanted to make it as diegetic as possible, which is kind of strange for Dragon Ball, but okay, it's
I like
cool.
it. I always
Yeah.
like diegetic elements in video games, and this is no exception. I wonder if it's a shader compilation thing, because I think this is Unreal Engine 5, which is notoriously bad at shader compilation.
Yeah, it is.
So I bet, once I hit 10 hours, I bet it stops being choppy.
Right. Yeah, but the most important thing is the gameplay, though.
The gameplay is-
and the gameplay is rock solid
Yeah.
and beautiful, right? Like, you get all the bright neon colors of the energy beams flying around, and you get the auras, man. The
Oh, they
auras
look
when you're charging
so
your ki
good.
look sublime. The best an aura has ever looked in a Dragon Ball game.
I will say I don't get to see it much anymore. Because when you go sparking, going
yeah.
past your limit, it looks incredible. The auras get bigger. It looks cooler. I don't think I'm going to get to see it anymore in multiplayer, though. The moment I got out of D rank, people are just on you. You never get to load.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, especially because, like, in CPU battles,
They tend to let
the
you
sparking is
charge.
kind of deterrent, right? It's because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you're gonna go sparking, but then that gives me an opportunity for me to go sparking.
Yeah.
And if I'm in sparking, I'm gonna have faith that I'm just gonna be able to beat you. And usually that's true for the CPU.
Yeah.
But for real people, I wonder how it's gonna be, because that same calculus applies. It's like, okay, if you're worse than me, you're gonna go sparking, I'm gonna go sparking, and then I'm gonna destroy you. Or if they're just gonna, like, be on you and not even interface with the sparking mechanic at all, not even charge your key.
I think it's going to be kind of a bell curve. I think at the very low levels, they're going to let you charge your key because they're charging their key. Then where I
Yeah.
am, like your C rank, maybe even your B rank, nobody lets anybody charge. You're just on each other the entire fight.
Oh
And then I bet once you get to the A, the S, I bet there's a Z, if I had to guess. Once you're up in that echelon, I bet it's
True
a whole different
warriors
game.
fighting each
Yeah.
other. It's like the DBZ philosophy is like, okay,
You
we're
let
gonna
'em.
let each other get to full power and then, like, go to town on each other.
Yeah. God.
That's great.
You already beat Jiren, right? You've been playing through the story?
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, we can talk about the story mode a little bit. So when there are, I think, 8 different story modes following different protagonists, and obviously Goku has probably the most fleshed out one.
I don't know if I have all of them unlocked.
I don't either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, 'cause
But-
I think I only have 5.
Yeah, some of them are, like, really odd choice. I'm not going to spoil them here, but, like, obviously you have
I hope-
characters you would expect: Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, etc.
The one I'm missing right now, I don't know if this is in the game, but I don't have a Future Trunks playable. And that seems like a slam dunk. There has to be a Future Trunks story. But-
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say, yeah, there is.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay. Thank goodness, because that would be such a strange omission to me, especially
Yeah.
because Gohan gets one. Gohan's is also weird. I don't know if you've played any of it yet. You don't.
I've
Get,
mostly only been on Goku's. I've played a little bit of Vegeta's,
I played a
but I
tiny
haven't
bit
touched
of
anyone else.
Gohan's, And it starts in the Android, or it starts against Cell. You don't play any of the Sand Saga.
It's interesting. Vegeta starts on Namek against Kui.
That's crazy. You don't get to fight Goku?
The only one that starts at the true beginning, I think, is Goku's. And then everyone else is... Oh, Piccolo's as well. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But everyone else seems to start kind of ahead for some reason, and I don't know if it's because of, like, budget or time constraints or something. I don't know.
I don't think it could be budget because these are not high budget cutscenes. I'll say.
Well, I meant more like development time constraints.
Well, they're just fights. I mean, the characters are in the game. All you have to do is put them in an arena.
Yeah.
I feel like I think it's a choice, and I just don't understand the choice yet. Maybe I will once I've played more. Maybe they just didn't want to focus on those early arcs.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. But I do want to also point out the branching storylines in this game.
Incredible.
So, very cool. Initially, I was blown away. I was just like, this is insane, the amount of effort they're putting in. But as I play more of Goku's, I was like, okay, it was definitely front-loaded.
Yes. Yeah, that's the only good one Goku has gotten for me so far, is the one you beat. I'll say how to unlock it. I don't want to spoil it because it is actually just peak all the way through.
It's very good, yeah.
But if you can beat Raditz fast enough that Piccolo doesn't use the special beam cannon, you get a whole like extra levels and everything, and that's really cool. The rest of them seem to like I got one on accident. I wasn't even paying attention. I beat Frieza without using the Spirit Bomb, and he's just dead. You don't get Super Saiyan. You don't,
right?
And it's like, oh, this is kind of underwhelming, and now I just have to do that fight again.
Yeah, there are several like that, and it's kind of weird because it's just like, okay, the story is over now, and it's just like, you could logically continue it from there if you really wanted to, but you chose not to.
There's a lot like that are. It doesn't feel very rewarding. There was one that I kind of expected to be cool because Majin Buu's like my favorite villain, maybe in anything. And when I'm in the fight with Majin Buu against Super Saiyan 3 Goku, if you beat him fast enough, there's a fork there. And I was like, this is hype. I have to get it. And the fork is just that Buu's a good guy now. It was not worth the effort
like
to
Fat
get
Buu.
at all. Yeah, it was not very fun.
Yeah, so I do want to point out, though, because I'm not sure you know this yet. There are 2 alternate paths. No, a total of 3 alternate paths in the Saiyan Saga. Did you play all 3?
I fought with Piccolo. I fought with the Turtle Hermit gang, and I did the one where you beat Raditz fast. Is there one for beating Raditz fast?
Have you played all 3 of those to their conclusion? Because there's like 3 distinct timelines with multiple fights.
Oh, maybe not then. No, I've only done one that had multiple fights. So,
okay. Yeah. So I know the one you've done, and I'm not going to spoil it because it is really cool. The other one is very good too.
Okay,
it's not as cool as that one, but it's very good. And it has the first like actual roadblock for me because unlike a lot of people, I didn't have too much struggle against Grade 8 Vegeta. I think it was just because like it was muscle memory from playing all those Tenkaichi games. So I know a lot of people online are struggling with those, but this fight, and I'm just going to say what it is, it's not that big of a spoiler, but Goku fights the entire Ginyu Force like 5-on-1.
Wow.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't have like compromised health bars. You have to get
are you
through, like,
full power Goku though? Like as he would have been against the Ginyu Force?
Full power. What do you mean? You're just like base form Goku.
But are you as strong as he was on Namek? Because Goku is way stronger on Namek.
No, I gotcha. No, yes. Well, actually, that's an interesting question. Because of the way events fold out, I feel like he's actually weaker.
Okay,
than
that would
he
make it
was
hard
in the prime timeline.
When I fought him in the prime timeline, they didn't land a hit on me. I for sure could have taken all 5 of them, but
yeah, but this was tough. It took me several attempts.
I'll have to check that out.
I felt like it was the first like real like this is a true challenge type thing. And no, the storyline's really cool. Like this timeline, without going into too many spoilers, focuses on more collaborating with the entire cast of heroes to overcome obstacles rather than it just being like the Goku show.
That's awesome. Because that's kind of my biggest complaint about the way this delivers its story is that it is the Goku show for sure. when you play through Goku's story,
Well,
and then it's the Gohan.
I mean, I was
show.
just going to say, like, that's just Dragon Ball in general a lot of the time.
I don't
Not true of early Dragon Ball, but it certainly becomes the case later on, I think.
Yeah, but like you play through Tenkaichi 3, Goku doesn't even fight the androids in the Cell Saga. It doesn't happen. You're playing as Vegeta, you're playing as Tien, you're playing as Piccolo through all that.
Right. Yeah, Goku's role in the Sparking Zero Android Saga was very minimal, which makes sense, right? It's kind of like
Well, it is, depending on your choice.
the anime.
You can choose
Oh, right. There's another timeline branch there
and it's kind of
as well. I
boring.
forgot.
It's like
Yeah, that
fine.
one is less interesting than the
Yeah,
Saiyan Saga
it felt
ones.
kind of lazy because it's like Goku says, "Oh, I'm too weak to go fight Cell," and then you go fight him anyway, and then it's like, "Oh, it turns out he wasn't," and he kills him.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
now-
like, honestly, though, like, I feel like Goku kind of does have plot armor. I feel like if he made that decision in the anime, he might have just steamrolled all of them.
yeah,
But yeah, certainly, yeah, that branch, that alternate storyline was not as cooked, or as, you know what I mean? It wasn't as well crafted as the Saiyan Saga ones. But yeah, the Saiyan Saga,
Yeah,
two
it's so
alternate
good.
storylines, very, very good.
yeah.
And I hope that other characters have at least a couple, like Goku did,
Yeah.
that are fleshed out like that. And I feel like that would be enough, right? Like, I'm not looking for much out of these story modes. I know the main draw to this game is just playing and fighting. But yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised with those what if storylines in the Saiyan Saga. Not only were they kind of plausible, they were just really cool and creative.
It
So,
felt Masako X.
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
the YouTuber.
he's a Team 4-star voice of Goku, and he does theory videos. And I swear, it felt like playing one of his what if videos. I think he had one that details
Yeah.
exactly what happens in the same. I almost spoiled it. Ugh.
Yeah.
The Saiyan arc what if I played, and those are all great, and I think those are so good that it undoes the ones that I think are pretty bad. And the ones I think are pretty bad, I've actually had a few now where I beat an enemy too quickly and triggered a what if that was an alternate
Yeah.
ending, and then I just had to do the fight again to
Yeah,
get the right
same,
ending,
yeah.
and I had to do it slow this time, and that wasn't
Right,
very
yeah.
fun. That was
It's a little silly,
I
yeah.
have to hold back
But-
now. But that's actually hilarious to me because that takes me right back to, I think it was Budokai Tenkaichi 2. There were fights where you had to live a certain amount of time, and that was the only way to progress. And I remember watching my cousin Jake play it, and we were so angry as a child can be, because he won the fight and got a game over screen.
Yeah,
An
that's
impossible
a
fight.
sin
Yeah.
in a game. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to ever have a situation where that happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, but like, I also wanted to bring up this game, and I think rightfully so, is very super focused, Dragon Ball Super focused.
Yeah.
And I say rightfully so because, you know, the original Dragon Ball storyline, it did have its time in the
It's been
sun
done
with
to death too. Yeah.
yeah, Tenkaichi 1 through 3, and honestly, everyone's familiar with it. And I think it's a little smart that they're targeting Super because there is an audience of people, like a significant audience of younger people that got into Dragon Ball via Dragon Ball Super.
This game has revealed one big thing to me. I don't really like Dragon Ball Super. I think the characters are
Dragon
fun
Ball
to play,
Super, I'm a little kind of, the longer it goes on, and again, I think it may be showing my age, but the longer it goes, I'm like, okay, Dragon Ball Super is kind of just, it's like a weird plasticky, shiny kind of thing.
I hate
but,
the look of it.
But then Dragon Ball, and then I look at Dragon Ball GT, and maybe I was like, maybe I was too harsh on you.
no,
you know?
Super's still better than GT, but in my
It
opinion,
is, yeah. It is, yeah.
The thing that killed me was I just finished the Goku Black arc in the story, and it's like fight Goku Black and Zamasu, leave,
Yeah,
come
like
back,
3
fight
times, you
Goku
know?
Black and Zamasu, and I was like,
Well,
how-
to be fair, that's the way the anime went.
I know.
too,
How
right?
did anyone watch it? It's so bad. The Goku Black arc is some of the worst writing ever.
Well, it's funny because the Goku Black arc, while it was airing, was fascinating. Like,
Yeah, I
while
know.
it was happening, I was like, what is happening? There's so much intrigue here. I haven't felt this level of intrigue in Dragon Ball in a long time. But then it concludes, and you're just left with this kind of like bland taste in your mouth, and you're like, okay, none of that was really worth it.
I will also counter that and say it's easier to stomach these things week to week when you're just really hyped to be getting new Dragon Ball content for the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time in like 20 years. And I do not think that I could make someone sit down and watch Dragon Ball Super. Like marathoning it, I just don't think I could make someone do it.
People like it, man. People are into it.
There are amazing clips.
It breathed new life into Dragon Ball, and I don't know. There are highs and lows. I think overall, the Tournament of Power was a high, and it really kind of brought a level of hype to Dragon Ball that hasn't been there in a long time.
Yeah, and the music
and by the way, right? So I mentioned I spent $15 on like 2 times. One to get both the music packs.
Yeah,
and the music packs seamlessly, like you don't have to turn them on. They're just like integrated into the gameplay, right? So as you're fighting in the Tournament of Power, the Tournament of Power music plays, and it's just the most hype thing. And you're playing the game, and
I have to buy that.
I know, right? It's just like, why did you lock this behind like a $30 wall?
Greedy. I bet it's a licensing issue.
It is, yeah. It is a nightmare. It is a nightmare to get anime music in anything. So the fact that they have it here at all is shocking, because I can't think of a single Dragon Ball game that had anime music in it.
Yeah,
but there's a
lot. Yeah, even in the base game, there's some anime music in this.
You get lots of super music. You get the classics. You get Head Shala. You get the original Dragon Ball intro, which is one of the best intros of anything ever. It's so good. So you do get some bangers for that money, but it is a lot of money for just
but if I'm going to spend 100 hours playing the online on this,
it really enhances. As a Dragon Ball fan, I got to tell you, it really enhances the experience a lot. It makes you so much more hype.
Because this is a game that has I've said it before and been wrong. Like I said, I was going to be playing Helldivers 2 for like hundreds of hours, and that did not happen. But this is a game that for sure feels to me right now like it has the potential. Whether or not that'll actually happen is up in the air. But it's for sure, it meets the criteria of being turn your brain off kinda and run just on instinct. I'm not having to think a whole lot.
Right. How I envision this game is that after all is said and done, I've beaten the story mode with everyone, I've unlocked everything. This is a game where I can just turn on, play 4 or 5 matches, and turn it off, and it'll feel great doing that.
Yeah. Well, other than how bad your hands hurt after.
Right. Yeah. Especially, it's very demanding. Yeah. It's a very demanding game.
I do want to give them props though. I was worried about this. In the classic games, beam clashes and dash clashes. There's like 4 different types of clashes.
There's a lot of clash. They added some more clashes in this game, which is cool.
The way they handle it in this game is incredible. It is not. There's like one button mashing one. There's none where you have to spin the stick, which thank God with the.
There are.
There's a spinning the stick one.
There's if you dragon rush each other, you have to spin the stick.
I don't think you do on PC. Because I did the training for all 4 of them.
I don't know about PC, but you definitely
that, or
do
I
on
didn't
console.
understand what it was telling me to do, which is possible. There should not be a spinning the stick one because the durability of the modern joystick is so poor. I was trying to compliment them for that, but maybe I have to take it back now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. it is what it is. But yeah, the beam clashes, that's classic Dragon Ball stuff. And they actually I don't know if you follow this. This is a very nerdy kind of granular detail, but initially the beam clashes, when they showed them earlier, they had like this weird dimension breaking effect, and the camera was constantly spinning, and no one really liked it. It looked kind of ugly and garish. And with the final game that came out, they totally removed that and redid the beam clashes.
I thought it still happened but only for the very strongest characters.
That might be the case. I don't know.
Because I remember like
done it with the strongest characters.
Because it was all the characters, and I didn't think it was ugly or anything. I thought it was just fine. I thought it looked cool for someone like Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken Goku versus Jiren or something. Yeah. But when you're like playing as base
Krillin and
Yamcha
Tien
and Krillin,
clash,
there should be no dimensional.
It doesn't really
breaking.
make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have the beam clashes, the Dragon Rush classes. They have grab clashes now, which is like
those are cool.
The oh my gosh, because it's like such a goofy Dragon Ball anime specific thing, but where they like grab each other's hands and like hold
their
it
fingers
there.
are locked,
interlock fingers and like push each other. That's in the game, and I was like, really, this is crazy, guys, that you even put this in the game. Yeah, it looks like Dragon Ball. That's just the best thing you can say about this game. It looks like Dragon Ball. It feels like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Man. And over 180 characters. Just an unbelievable amount of characters.
I've played like 4.
That final number. Oh, really? I've been playing a lot.
Of them, yeah.
And don't they all feel so good, right? Like so much. Oh, you don't agree?
No, I think they all feel good. They just all feel very similar too. I mean, everybody
Yeah,
flies. Everybody.
they all have a similar move set, but like when it
Yeah.
comes to the special moves and stuff,
Oh yeah,
so much
those are like mostly aesthetic.
so much effort. Yeah, so much effort was put into the art, the animation of these things. It's just a joy to look at.
Yeah.
Right. And that's in stark contrast to previous Tenkaichi games where like so many characters, even like main characters, had full power energy wave or high speed rush.
Yeah.
And that's still kind of in this game, but those moves are way, way more unique in this game.
It's also mostly used. Like, Goku has stuff like that a few times in the story because he's not supposed to have a move yet. So they just fill a slot with full power energy wave or something.
And like me being the nerd I am, I was just like, okay, I want this version of Goku in the game as well to play outside of story mode. So I like checked all the costumes because it was like sometimes they tie different moves to different costumes. And which, by the way, so many costumes in this game for each character. Just so many. And some of them, yes, do change the character's moves, but it's not nearly as common as I would like it to be.
That's crazy. Can you, I think there's like items that change your character's stats and stuff. Does that work online?
Yeah.
Do you know? That seems weird.
I don't think...
And I don't know why you would want it.
It wouldn't make sense to work in ranked, because that just kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah. And I, like, never was really interested in that mechanic. It's cool if you want to, like, RPG-ize the game a little bit, level up stats for characters.
When I was playing at Split Screen regularly, you know, it's a game that really falls into the, even more so than something like Mario Kart or Smash Bros, falls into the, I own the game, so I'm going to win every time. So I would use those items to handicap the other player, because I could, you know, back in the Tenkaichi 3 days, I could body every character in the game as a Rayleigh. Like, every single
Cybermen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, really great that made it over too.
Yeah.
So like, it really did take all of the Tenkaichi mainstay classics, bring them up to a modern game, and added more onto it. Which this really is the Dragon Ball dream game. Like, this is the game I've wanted since I was a kid. Because Tenkaichi was close, but the only thing was the lack of visual quality, and that was just more to the time those games came out. But now you have these beautiful cel-shaded graphics that look like the anime and feel like the anime, and it's just a dream come true.
It's still missing some things for me. I want a Kid Goku storyline that plays through original Dragon Ball. I always loved that in Tenkaichi 3.
Yeah, man. Original Dragon Ball always gets the shaft, and it's so sad to see because
it's like
I get it. Z and Super are the moneymakers. I accept that, but you got to pay some respect to your roots, man.
If somebody today was like looking for an anime to watch, I'm more likely to recommend original Dragon Ball than Z or Super, or it's certainly not GT. Because it flows so well. I think it's so pretty because it's
such a classic adventure too. It's just it
doesn't have like the rush issues that you get with Super, where Super's kind of, and it's not plasticky. It's that like beautiful 80s. It's not even 90s, 80s style animation. I love Dragon Ball. I haven't finished it, but I do love it. And
the music, the intro to Dragon Ball. My God.
And the outro.
There is the outro too, but the intro, I just want to say, there is no other song that captures that sense of adventure than the intro to Dragon Ball. That song, I think it's called Mafushigi Adventure.
I don't know.
Such a good song.
Dragon Soul from Dragon Ball Z Kai is the one for me that I think of every time. It's been stuck in my head for a week now.
Oh, from Kai, yeah.
From Kai,
dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
dun, dun.
So it's sung by Broly.
Yeah. God. Oh, yeah, that guy who is now canceled.
Oh, is he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
But, yeah, the music, man, it adds a lot to this game. And I think, I'm not entirely sure where the story ends. I think it ends with Jiren. I think it ends at the Tournament of Power, but Broly and stuff is in this game. So, like, the latest canonical stuff in this game is stuff from the Broly movie, but they're going to be adding Dragon Ball superhero characters. So we're going to get, like, Beast Gohan, and they're going to add Dragon Ball Daima. And actually, you and I already have Daima Goku.
Daima Goku.
Because,
yeah, another Kid Goku.
Another Kid Goku.
No,
I really think Dragon Ball Daima Yeah, I'm gonna watch too. But I think Dragon Ball Daima was just like Toriyama saying I liked GT as a concept, but the execution sucked, so I'm gonna make the execution better. I think that's what Daima is gonna be.
I hope
That's
so.
my
I hope
theory.
they even do like Omega Shenron, because the Black Star Dragon Balls and stuff from GT could have been really cool.
Yeah, Omega Shenron's a great idea. And
Is
by
he
the
in
way,
this game?
he is in this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So GT did not.
GT doesn't get
The
any story, does
only-
it?
I don't know if GT gets any story. Probably not, because it's not canon
I want
like
it
Super
to,
is.
though. I like playing through the GT story.
I do. Yeah.
The problem with the
But
GT
yeah, it's
story
it's
is
a
that the
different era
show's
now.
tough to watch. I liked the fights and everything in Tenkaichi 3. I like Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
I do think we're due probably a GT pack to cover some of the missing faces. Like Super Android 17 is not in this game, which is
Yeah.
I think a pretty big omission. But we do have Sin Shenron, Omega Shenron. You have like all the forms of Baby, which is good. I
Oh,
always
good.
thought Baby was a fun villain.
Yeah, just boo again at first.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you don't get like the blue blob form of
Yeah,
Baby.
but
which,
that version never fought, did he?
no, but imagine
I
if he
imagine.
was in this game.
You can play, and you can
Everyone
play
is
as
here.
Frieza Soldier too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was actually holding out hope for Frieza Soldier. I was just like, this it cannot be a Tenkaichi game unless Frieza Soldier isn't it?
Oh, there.
And when you announced, I unironically pogged.
Yeah.
And the other big omission for me, and this is gonna sound like a joke, but it really isn't, because like this game is all about like the obscure nobodies being included.
Yeah.
Right. That's what Tenkaichi is to me. A pool got cut,
Oh,
and
really?
I was upset about
Is
this because I
Pycon in
wanted a Pycon's also cut.
That's
Pycon is
crazy.
cut. Yeah, Pycon's a crazy cut. Like, he's an actual crazy omission. Pycon is an anime-only character, so maybe that's why he wasn't given
Might have been a license.
as high priority. But, like, surely Pycon is coming in a DLC pack.
Pycon has
Surely,
To be coming.
yeah.
I think Aurelia has to be coming too. Aurelia is so fun to play.
I think we're due a Dragon Ball pack and a GT pack, and I would be shocked if we didn't see Aurelia.
We need Dr. Wheelo.
Yeah.
With the robot. God, so many good characters. We need
I
Ader.
was happy to see all the Dragon Ball Z movie characters made it in.
Yeah.
Like, we've got Bojack and
Yeah.
Tapion, all those. I remember playing so much Tapion in Tenkaichi 3 because just at the time he was the
It's
coolest
cool. He's got
guy,
the sword.
right?
Yeah.
He had an ocarina. He had a sword. He was basically Link in Dragon Ball.
Dude, I didn't realize this as much when I was watching the anime. Just the character assassination of Future Trunks in Super versus Future Trunks in Z. He's just so soft in Super.
Yeah. I mean, he was so cool in Dragon Ball.
He's
The
so
second
cool.
he
He shows
showed
up
up,
with
you
a
were just
sword,
like,
goes-
this is the coolest guy ever.
Goes Super Saiyan, kills Frieza, refuses to elaborate.
I know. Yeah, he was so based.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
And then-
he
and then
does
he's
kind of
like,
turn into a baby.
Please save me. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like the Goku Black Arc.
But yeah, Goku Black Arc is certainly heavily present in this game. Though.
Yeah, it is. Trunks he's weirdly skinny there too. Like
Toriyama just changed Trunks' design.
completely,
That's all it was.
like blue
Yeah.
hair and everything, which is crazy
it's-
because young
which
Trunks
is
was
wild,
still
too.
right
It was
there
just
with
like,
the purple
yeah.
hair.
Toriyama's just like, yeah, he has blue hair now. He's just like, we've been animating him for like multiple decades with purple hair, and Toriyama's just like, he has blue hair now.
And we're still animating Kid Trunks with purple hair.
yeah.
No, what I love is it was a Team 4-star joke, but Vegeta puts in all the work to earn Super Saiyan Blue, and Trunks dyes his hair.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah.
Have
Like,
you-
we do have like purple hair Trunks and blue hair Trunks in this game.
Yeah.
Which is good. They're separate.
I'm excited for
characters.
purple
Yeah.
hair Vegeta. I'm sure that'll. Well, I don't know. The manga only stuff is going to be tricky. I want.
Oh yeah, that's not happening.
It's not happening?
That has not been confirmed
Hopefully,
as
it
like a
gets modded
DLC or
in.
anything.
I don't
yet.
want Black Frieza.
So I another kind of peek behind the curtain, like the licensing for the anime and the manga are like two separate things apparently.
That's
So
so annoying.
because Ego Vegeta is not in the anime, it's going to be very, very hard for them to include him in this game.
That sucks so bad.
Yeah. But I mean, there's still plenty of characters to pull from that have not been in this game. Even though this game has the most characters of any Dragon Ball game in history, of most games in history, I can't think of really any games that have
200
over 180 characters. It's gonna have well over 200 once the DLC comes out.
That
It's
once the
just,
first wave of DLC comes out, I imagine. I mean, look at Fighters. How many years of DLC that thing got?
Yeah,
And like
Look at
Xenoverse
Xenoverse. I mean,
2, yeah.
Xenoverse is probably still getting DLC. I mean,
I think it is. Yeah.
So this game is going to be the Dragon Ball game for many, many years to come.
Lots to.
And yeah, I'm going to check out online mode tonight. Hopefully it doesn't make me rage too much, but I'm also eager to check out some of the other story modes. I want to see some more what if stories. Like, I got a taste of it in the Saiyan arc, and it was so good, and I want more. Hopefully there are more.
Have you dipped a toe in custom battles yet?
Oh, custom battles? I haven't actually done one yet. I've gone to the menu and looked at some of the more popular ones, and I was just like, this is a cool idea, and I'll check this out, right? Like, I don't know if I'll have the time or inclination to, like, make my own.
I won't make my own, but I think I'll play them.
I'll play the most popular ones, I think.
We'll say. And I've heard mixed feelings on this. You have to, you can't write your own text for it. You have to use
I figured, yeah.
pre-baked text, and it...
Because otherwise it would just turn filthy, you know?
It results in some, like, lame, broken English kind of stuff going on that is, like, fine, but it does... I hope there's a mod. I hope there's a mod on PC that lets them just do text.
Because, surely, yeah.
Well, probably not, because you have to upload them to Bandai servers, so...
Oh, right, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know where that text would live. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know. At this point, I don't even know if you're going to be able to play online with mods at all, which would be kind of a deal breaker for me. Because you can't, the game is locked at 60 frames per second on PC, which I'm not pleased about, but it's not the end of the world. And you can fix that with a little script modification, but you can't play online if you do that. And that's why I haven't done it, because it's a locked 60.
Well, I'm sure someone will find a workaround even around that. You know, that's kind of the point of PC. So
maybe
I'm sure eventually you'll get your 100+ frames. And I gotta imagine, man, this game at 120 hertz and above.
Oh yeah,
unbelievable experience. So I hope for a pro patch, it's probably not going to happen, because it doesn't seem like a good candidate for a pro patch, because it already runs just fine. But in my dreams, yes, this game is running at 120+ FPS, but it still feels buttery smooth at 4K 60.
I mean, this game also has me thinking about plugging in my controller into my PC, because the little tiny bit of latency with the wireless controller is killing me. In a way that I haven't felt since Super Mario 64 speedrunning.
I'm not exaggerating when I say you literally have fractions of a second to make decisions in a fight.
Roughly 60 fractions. Yeah. It's
It's crazy, yeah. Yeah. And I don't remember, I mean, I think Tenkaichi was like this too, but maybe we're just older or something. It feels like a rude awakening. Like, oh man, I forgot how fast paced this was.
I never had to play anyone. Like, my cousin Jake was the best person I ever played at Budokai Tenkaichi 3. And so I wasn't exactly competing in a very large pool. Maybe he's really good at it, but I have no way of knowing, because I played like 3 different people and he was the only one who could beat me.
Yeah. And now the whole world can play.
Yeah, and they can all beat me because I'm ass at this game.
Well, the one thing I hope they add is crossplay. Like, I would love to play this game with you. I would love to play this.
I'm a little glad there's no crossplay. I don't need you to beat me into the dirt and then tell everybody on the show.
Well, okay, but I think crossplay is something that should be in this game.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it came
There's so many Dragon Ball fans all over the world playing this on all sorts of different hardware. I'm sure PC and PlayStation are kind of the main places people are, but
yeah,
it'd be great if that larger pool of people could be opened up to the Xbox fans too.
Worth noting, apparently, if you lower the frame rate to 40, you can get a locked 40 frames per second on this on Steam Deck, and it's super fun to play through the story.
Oh, okay.
You can't go online, but if you play it locked at 60, the Steam Deck can't always keep up with 60, and I guess the game turns slow-mo, and you don't want to do that.
No, you don't want that.
No. I actually ran into that online. To their credit, you pretty much, ranked is the only way to play online, in my opinion. There's actually 2 modes. You can join a lobby, but on ranked, you can set a filter for how good the other person's connection has to be.
Oh, that's great.
And I played unranked first to get my feet wet, and I connected to somebody with like a terrible connection, and it shows as like choppy frame rate, and I was like losing my mind. It was, and they were they were working me because they were used to this choppiness, I guess, and I was not. I didn't.
No, I feel like that would make me nauseated in a game like this.
It did feel really
that's just
bad.
That's so fast, and the camera's always like moving around.
It felt horrible.
Yeah. Another thing I'm excited to check out is the World Tournament mode, and I wonder if they have like an online World Tournament. That would be really sick.
I don't think they do. But I hear that the super, I think, is the highest difficulty of World Tournament, is really, really hard. Like, probably harder than online.
Yeah, like, so I've been fighting CPUs,
Mhm.
and I bumped up their difficulty from normal to whatever above normal is, and I can still beat them, like, without too much effort, so I might bump up the difficulty once more
Yeah.
and see what that's like. But I imagine the really tough fights in the story mode, there's absolutely, like, input reading and stuff going on.
Yes.
These CPUs are consistently doing, like, frame perfect counters and all this kind of stuff. It's like, okay, you didn't really have to make it like this.
Yeah.
And it really is. People are complaining about it online. I wonder if we'll see kind of like a difficulty reduction. But
I would be okay
yeah,
with
some
it.
of those battles are kind of unnecessarily difficult.
The Goku Black, I only had trouble with the first one, but the first Goku Black fight, you're playing as Super Saiyan Blue Goku against Goku Black.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
He has this combo, and it worked me online as well, but he has this combo that's really easy to pull off, where it turns you around backwards, and then they just keep hitting you, and when you're turned around backwards, you own, like, none of your counters except the frame perfect one can do anything, and I'm not that good. So
Yeah, so I don't want to say reliably, but I will say consistently hit that counter because I
Really?
just spam it.
Oh,
I
you
spam
spam
it, right?
it.
So
I
like
see, I
if
haven't
I'm
been
getting
trying that,
worked
yeah.
by like a square combo, you just keep pressing square and up.
I'm gonna
like,
try that.
I don't know what it is for you because you're
It's
on a
X
different
and up,
control
yeah.
scheme.
It's X up.
Yeah,
so
but
same.
like eventually you're gonna hit a couple of them, right?
Okay.
And then you're gonna
Yeah, and you'll break out of it. I'll have to try
But
that.
there's like no way like you could time it perfectly.
But you
right?
really
just
have to be
spam it.
thinking when
Yeah.
you're playing online, because you don't know if you're gonna get knocked into an X/square combo. You don't know if they're gonna start vanishing around you, and you need to start vanishing. So you have to be ready to do whatever. You have to be thinking so fast.
You have to have you have to get to the point where all those tools are ready to be pulled out at a moment's notice, and it's kind of hard to get to that place
Really
because
hard.
there's just so much to think about, especially when things are moving so fast.
I feel really bad. My cousin Jake really wants to come over and play it, like, this weekend probably, and by then, at this rate, I'll have 40 hours in the game by then.
By then, he's going to be
But he was
a
so
bug
much
for
better
you to
than me in the
squash.
past, so if he can turn on standard controls,
yeah.
he might be fine. But
Yeah.
well, we'll see.
No, but this is absolutely like I'm very glad they managed to patch in local co-op as well because that
Even
to
if
me, I mean, that's how I spent most of my time playing the older games, just playing against my siblings with friends, and I'm glad to see that spirit kind of live on.
And I thought it was going to bother me that it's only in the hyperbolic time chamber, but now that I've played for a while, the maps are
It's
cool.
fine.
But
Yeah.
it's fine. Like, the coolest
Yeah.
stuff is the fight. The map, some of the maps are a little annoying, actually. I really don't care for when, like not all the geometry is destroyable, and when your opponent gets
Right.
behind the
Yeah.
geometry, you just have to, like, kind of awkwardly fly over there, and that gives them so much time to charge key. Or you could charge key. I guess it could be a little Mexican standoff going, but that's not what I typically go for. The other thing I don't love, you charge key slower underwater. I don't like.
Yeah, I
don't
noticed
like
that. I was
mechanic
just
at
like,
all.
why?
I just-
it doesn't make any sense.
It's just annoying to me. Because I don't remember water mattering at all in the old games.
No.
And now it's like, if I go
So yeah,
underwater,
when I found that out, like I was just like, okay. And so now every time I'm underwater, I just fly out and then start charging.
well, but if you're playing as the androids, that gives you an incentive to try to keep people underwater because androids don't have
yeah.
to charge their key. So I guess there is cool mechanical stuff
neat
to it.
mechanic.
Yeah. Oh, we
Yeah.
need Android 21 in this game too. Do you think they'll be able to pull that off?
Yeah, Android 21. She's very popular, so I feel like she has a decent chance. The only thing against her is that she wasn't in the anime, so I don't know.
But Fighters is Bandai Namco, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So
So
they might be
I
able to
feel
swing
like
it. And she was,
they might be able to
and
do it.
Fighters is a canon story. Remember?
Is it really?
They
I forget.
And that was one of the big talking points of Fighters, was that it was going to have a canon story. And
I don't know
I
about
played
that.
it and I was like, no, it's not. This is not.
But also, okay, when we were talking about the water and stuff that reminded me of something, if you charge your key like right on the surface of the water, it like ripples, which is really cool. You can see like the water reacting to your key. And also when you charge up to sparking mode, it feels like an event because clouds start coming and the
Yeah.
sky darkens because of your power, and it just feels so good. There's so many little touches like that in this game.
And all of that depends
just
on
make
your
you
character
feel
too.
powerful like a Dragon Ball character. Yeah.
So if you're playing as Yamcha, you don't get that. But
Right, yeah. But if you like there's a lot of characters that are like Super Saiyan strength and above in this game, and all of them get that effect. And it's so cool.
yes.
Like seeing the clouds move in the sky.
But I think it's cool.
Oh.
Like it matters more that the strong characters get it because the weak characters don't. That makes it cooler to me.
yeah,
that it's special.
The balance disparity
Yeah.
is absolutely a positive in this game. And where like in most other games it would be a negative.
Yeah.
In this game, it just makes it cooler, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I have this game sits so cleanly in that 8 out of 10 spot where it's not good enough that I'm going to nitpick it, but it's also like really, really good.
Yeah, it's just pure fun.
Yeah.
And again, like as a Dragon Ball fan, this is the game. This is the game that you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
As a Dragon Ball fan, it doesn't get much better than this.
We kind of joked all year about this being game of the year, and now that it's here, a little bit, it's in the conversation for me.
Yeah, I mean, it is certainly one of my favorite games of
It's
the
top
year.
5 for sure.
Whether it actually like it's tough, right? Because game of the year is always kind of a personal thing, but
Yeah.
you also want to try and find objective quality. And if we're being quote unquote objective about it, then yeah, it's not as good as something like Astrobot, but like
But I think it's as good as Helldivers.
It's apples and oranges, right?
Yeah.
Like, but to me, this is the most fun I've had with a game all year, probably.
Yeah,
So
same, I think.
what does that mean? So
Yeah. I can't wait to play some more of it. It's
yeah, we should probably just like end this episode. It's already been going for about an hour.
about an hour of us.
We can go play some more.
Well, we got a
Mike. I want to bring Mike in.
Yeah,
So
I was
after hearing us talk about this game for an hour, do you think you might get it when it comes? Because keep in mind, all this still early access. Apparently, there's a big day one patch coming to address some issues. We don't even have that yet.
I don't even know what the issues
Connor and
are.
Yeah, I mean, like performance kind of stuff. I think so.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It might even look and run better
Yeah.
after in a couple days.
They add 20
yeah,
new
Mike,
characters.
Maybe.
What do you think? Maybe.
Maybe.
Hard
Well,
maybe.
the other cool thing about this game is Steam Remote Play or PlayStation Remote Play.
I shudder to think with the speed, like, but I don't know. I have a good internet
okay,
connection,
but
so
yeah,
like,
my
it'll probably
counterpoint-
be fine.
Me and my friend Antonio both live in Pittsburgh, both have gigabit internet. I bet our ping is like 4 milliseconds or something. Like there's probably more latency between my controller and my computer than between our
Yeah.
computers. So
Yeah, it should be fine.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
I've
try it
enjoyed that
tonight
yet.
probably. I'm gonna see if he
Yeah.
wants to play a round or two.
Man, yeah, I gotta find people to play this with. I do have a couple friends on PS5 that are getting it. I would really like to play with you though, but
Well,
maybe one
in
day they'll
person
add
sometime,
crossplay.
maybe.
Yeah, in person.
That
Yeah,
comes
that
up.
could be an option.
Or you could just buy it again on PC. Ahmed.
I could.
Spend another $100 so we could play tonight.
No, yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, it is kind of absurd how much money I've spent on this game already.
This is the
right?
most
'Cause, like,
expensive video game I've ever bought.
yeah, because I paid for the Ultimate Edition and to have it early, and for the anime music packs. So that was it. $110 for the Ultimate
I think it was off
for the early access.
103.
or 100.
It was $90,
103.
but after tax, it was a little over 100 for me. I didn't buy the highest. I bought the middle tier, I think.
Oh, so you bought Deluxe and not Ultimate?
Yeah.
I think. Right. Okay. So I bought Ultimate, which comes with I forget. It comes with some like Shenron wishes, which we didn't even talk about, by the way. It's like you get Dragon Balls as you do things in the game, and you can use
Yeah.
them to wish for things like new characters or what have you.
I got
which is
one,
cool.
I got one Shenron wish.
What'd you wish for?
I wished for a Master Roshi costume.
Nice.
I
I
the
wish
other stuff
for-
is like fun to unlock. I wanted to
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to get it from Shenron. Like there was one that was like beat an episode battle, which is like
Yeah, I saw
It's
that. I was
like-
just like, I don't want to do
yeah,
that.
a
That's crazy.
sin.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna deprive
But I
myself
did
of
wish
it.
for a new character, and Shenron gave me Goku Black, and then I took him for a spin in versus a CPU, and I was like, yeah, Goku Black is a fun character.
Oh, the other thing, hopefully this gets fixed in the day one patch. There's a bug on Steam right now. Every single fight I finish, I get the achievement for finishing 100 fights. Every
Like you get the achievement over and over.
yeah, like a Steam
like
achievement.
even though you already have it.
Yeah. Well, I haven't finished 100 fights yet, I don't think. Maybe I probably have
Oh.
in 10 hours, but
That's weird.
But it
'cause-
started with the very first fight. I was getting that. I also got earn a million zenny. Like there's just some values messed up in their Steam API implementation. And it's really annoying because the Steam notifications pop up and there's actually information at the bottom right of the screen where the notification is popping up that I can't see because of it, and I have to wait for it to go away. It's kind of annoying.
oh, that is annoying.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds like a day one patch kind of thing, though. So hopefully they'll address that in the patch.
They're probably
coming
just going to
here.
have to wipe everybody's achievements, though.
Well, I don't know. This is one of those games where I don't really care about the trophies.
know.
I'm just playing it. It's so much fun.
I mean, I never care about achievements, so.
Yeah. It depends on a game by game basis.
Yeah.
But for me, this game, no, I'm just playing it to fulfill my Dragon Ball fantasies.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have anything else we want to say about Sparking Zero?
No, I just want to play more.
I want to play more too.
Mike, have you been playing anything?
I mean, Shadows of Doubt came out.
Oh, yeah.
how was that?
Release?
How's 1.0?
They added something called a missing persons case,
Oh, yeah.
where someone randomly will just get kidnapped and dumped in a room in a basement somewhere. I have not figured out how to solve those. I searched basements and I found the man I was supposed to find, but I do not have any clue who took them, why, where they live, or anything.
That's really high on my Steam wish list. I want to play that game.
So remind me, Shadows of Doubt, is that the procedurally generated murder mystery cases?
Yeah,
or-
it's the procedurally
that what it
generated
is? Yeah.
detective game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks
yeah.
really good. It's a
It's
pretty
so
game.
good.
What a neat idea.
Yeah. I'm excited to play that.
It kind of allows you to solve murders in whatever way you want to. You
Yeah.
want to hack the phone database to figure out who they called or who called them before they died? You can do that. You can watch security cameras by breaking into the security room. You could just go the old-fashioned way and break into the government database and print every single person in the city off and pin it to a case file.
Just hearing you talk about it kind of reminds me of Hitman, but for case solving.
Yeah.
And more procedural, like actual
Hmm.
procedural levels and everything, right?
Yeah, the cities are all procedurally generated as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Its key talking point is anywhere you can see, you can go. If there is a window, you can access that room and look out that window.
That's so cool. It's so high on my list to play. There's just so much stuff coming out right now. Like there's a bunch of VR games coming out soon that I want to check out on.
We've basically got a new Persona game that just came out. And it's got a 93 or something on Metacritic.
What's it called?
Metaphor Refantasia.
Okay,
It's,
yeah.
it's the new Atlas game, and it's basically like not Persona.
Is that like on other
And-
stuff or is that PlayStation?
I think
on
it's
Steam.
PlayStation PC.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to.
And it's got like a 90 plus, and they're like, yeah, it's basically just a Persona 5 tier game. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
No.
Like I don't have time for this.
2024 is relentless.
It's very good. Yeah. Very, very good.
I just don't know. I don't know when I work because I Sparking Zero is not gonna end like in the near future. I'm gonna be playing that for a bit.
Yeah, this Sparking Zero in my head is just like I said, a game that I just
Yeah.
come back to, even though when I finish like my main time with it. will be a
Yeah,
game
but
that
I mean
come
my
back
main
to.
time with it. Like
Yeah, my main
Probably
time
another
with it
week or
is
two.
right now.
Yeah.
So, all right,
I got another game.
I do too, actually.
Okay, you want to go first?
Sure. So I've been playing lots of Vampire Survivors, and I'm basically finished it the day before. I think the day before Sparking Zero Early Access happened. So I finally beat Death, and that was very exciting. I did actually manage to capture the run where I did it, so I guess I'll be attaching it to our reel
nice.
here. But
Nice.
yeah, it was Vampire Survivors is just an incredible game.
Yeah.
And finally beating Death, for the longest time, I knew what I had to do. It was just hard to set up the conditions to do it right, to create the red shroud and the timeless
I don't remember.
hallway or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
But when I finally did it, because you do need, I think, both of those items to actually beat Death. You can't have one, because I had the run before where I had only one of them,
Yes,
and it
I'm pretty sure you need
wasn't
both.
enough.
Yeah.
So once you have both, though, it's like a cakewalk. The game's basically over.
It's not a skill check, it's a puzzle. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that. It was very cool. And obviously there's more stuff for me to discover in this game, but it felt like to me a very natural stopping point.
It does, yeah.
But it's It's a very fun game, and I'm excited to see kind of the evolution of this formula, because I think this is the first game in this kind of style, right?
Yeah, I think it is. It
It kind of
popularized
kicked
it.
off a
Yeah, Brotato came out like a little bit after, and then like from there, there's a bunch of them now.
yeah. So excited to see where this kind of style of game goes. It's almost like its own genre, I would say. I don't know what I'd call it though, but
Yeah, I don't know. Video game genres are weird because we still have Souls
Yeah.
like kicking around in
Right, yeah.
Metroidvania, so it could just be a Vampire Survivors, like that
right,
we may
right.
never get past that.
But yeah, that's all I had to say. Finally beat Death. It was cool.
I don't have a ton to say about mine either. I played a very dangerous game, an addict around his vice, I guess. My buddy Antonio wanted to reinstall Mabinogi, the Korean MMO that we were
Oh no.
obsessed with in middle and maybe early high school. And it's just so uncanny. I was really relieved to see my character was still there. But it's really uncanny to kind of walk through that world. His character had been deleted, so he had his original character, he had two, and his newer one was still there. It's just kind of uncanny to walk through those kind of dead worlds that don't really have that many people in them anymore. That game's actually in the middle. It's called Mabinogi Eternity, I guess, is the new project. Although whether or not it comes to fruition is anybody's guess, because Mabinogi 2 has been announced more than once. I think there was going to be a sequel, and if that ever does come to fruition, I will be playing it. Just so we're clear. But Mabinogi Eternity is not a sequel. It is just porting the original game to Unreal Engine 5 and all of the just kind of modernizing some of the poly counts, textures, everything, just trying to make the game look a little better. And I think it's crazy that they're doing that to this, like, I think the original game came out 20 years ago, like 2004, 2006, something like that. Insane that people care enough to put in that, or that there's enough players, that there's enough money moving for it to be worth their while to do this. I do think it's like the most
Yeah, the
interesting.
MMOs that blow up.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say the MMOs that blow up like never die.
Yeah, I do think this is the best MMO. Like I will stand by that. There's a reason I spent so much time in it. It just feels more like a world than probably any other game I've ever played. Like, I think I've said this on the show before, but to learn magic in this game, an in-game day is an hour long, and you have to show up, I think 4 or 5 days in a row on time to your magic classes at the school to learn the beginner spells. And yeah,
That's crazy.
and like there's no class system.
I don't remember you ever mentioning that, but that's crazy.
There's no class system. You just learn skills, and like you pick the skills you like. So my character has, I liked alchemy. I thought alchemy was really cool, but alchemy in this game doesn't have anything to do with what you would think alchemy is. It's like ammo based. So I have these crystals, and water blast is like the main alchemy move. So I have like 2,000 water crystals on me at any time, and I have a cylinder to put those crystals in to fire them out of, and I have that inside a shield, and because of that I can also carry a sword, so I actually have a bunch of the like normal melee combat skills as well, and my character is like level 800 something, which is not the first 1,000 levels. I think are considered tutorial now. It was respectable back when I played it, but because of inflation it's considered baby mode now. The people are like ridiculous, like level 10,000 and stuff in this game. They're ridiculously high. But it was neat. It was neat to play it again. We ran one dungeon, which was way longer than we remembered. It kind of reminded me why I quit playing it. It takes up so much time. And it was weird just walk through the ghost towns that don't really have very many players in them. There were some. We ran into some in the most popular towns. But anything off the beaten path was just completely dead. But it was a nice little walk
That
down.
kind of sounds like an interesting experience, though. Just exploring the once resplendent halls of your old game.
It felt very similar to when I found the backup I had of the Minecraft server we played on when we were like 13.
Oh yeah,
Walking
that's
through
cool.
that was actually, and it wasn't like just us. It was a Minecraft server that was hosted somewhere in Texas, and a bunch of people played on it.
Mm.
So it was actually like stuff we maybe didn't know about at the time. It was like, why were they doing this? We called up my friend Christian while we were looking through it because we found something so weird he was working on. We needed to know what it was, and he said, "I don't know, man. We were 13.
Right.
We're almost 30. What are you talking about?" Nostalgia games are fun sometimes.
Yeah. I am getting a lot of nostalgia from this game too. This new Dragon Ball game, which
Sparking
is kind of
Zero.
funny.
Yeah, it's a walk
because,
down memory
it's
road.
just reawakening so many memories, both of Dragon Ball and of Tenkaichi games. So
I will say Tenkaichi 3, I think, was an okay way to experience the Dragon Ball story. Sparking Zero is not an okay way to
it's not.
experience the story for the first
If you
time.
have no familiarity with the Dragon Ball story and you play Sparking Zero, you're going to be like, this is the most incomprehensible nonsense I've ever seen.
You'll still have fun,
just,
but yeah.
it's fun, right? Playing the game is just
It skips
tons
over
of fun,
so much, though.
But yeah, it just annotates like entire, seasons long plot developments into like a sentence or two.
You never see Android 17 or 18 in Goku's story. Like,
17 and 18, you fight them in the what if.
in the
right?
what if, but if you play the canonical story, you never see them.
Right, yeah, it just skips to
Yeah.
Cell. It's just like, okay, who's Cell?
Yeah,
Why? Now there's androids.
Is he perfect?
And he ate the androids? What is happening?
Why is Goku putting his son in it? Yeah, good.
Actually, that's kind of hilarious. I would love to see someone unfamiliar with Dragon Ball reviewing the story as seen through Sparking Zero. That would be great content.
I'll see if I can get my buddy Antonio to play it.
Well, he did say it looked appealing,
and
so
I think
he might do it.
I think I have my Steam library shared with him, so I think he has access to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe
Well-
we'll have that. We'll bring him on if he does it.
Oh yeah, I would love to hear his thoughts. That'd be really funny. But I'm gonna end the episode now because I want to play Sparking Zero. This episode is probably not going to be very edited because again, I'm going to be playing Sparking Zero. But
better nail the
thank you
outro.
all for listening. Right, yeah. Thank you all for listening. You can follow us at Podcast Game Talk on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I think that's it, right?
Those are the big
there
ones.
might be a couple others. Yeah.
If you use it,
Twitter, yeah. Although Twitter, we might just
might
abandon
delete
Twitter
that one. Yeah, it's
one of
not
these days.
not doing
Yeah.
numbers.
And plus,
Musk.
Twitter seems to be people seem to be ready to abandon Twitter now.
There's a Musk about it.
Yeah. Follow us on Spotify, SoundCloud, or any other podcast services you use. Click the link in the description. Join our Discord and talk to us there. Thank you, Connor and Mike.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
See you next week. Bye.